Hello, welcome back. When I first heard about what are known as chart patterns, I found out that this proven knowledge had its beginning in the style of technical analysis that was taught as Dow Jones chart reading, which is kind of the standard for what I would consider to be old school professional traders. Now, if you ask some Forex trader or some crypto trader if they know about chart patterns, they will say, oh yeah, I learned about that in the Forex Alien Annihilator system. A lot of traders don't really know anything about the history of the subject of technical analysis and reading charts for financial market trading at all. If you want to know how to make winning trades using proven visual chart signals, let's get started with that and make it happen right now. If you like this video, you get some benefit from it, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification icon, and just click like. So, in this day and age, how does an average Forex trader or crypto trader know about knowledge that has a history and has been used for a long time before there ever even was crypto trading, and actually for a long time before there ever was Forex? Well, there are many books and seminars on the subject. But a lot of the knowledge that is known and proven for many decades is in the book Technical Analysis of Stock Trends by Edwards and Magee. And this knowledge has been taught to professional traders of all levels. Things like the head and shoulders, pennants, double and triple tops and bottoms, and so on. These are visual signals that are based on known market behavior patterns. The Edwards and Magee is a big, thick book, and it is like the authority and textbook for traders who are studying to get their Chartered Market Technician certification. And it is a known thing that has been used in the financial markets, especially in the US, Wall Street, and in Chicago for a long time. So if you're an engineer and you like studying all this technical analysis stuff, that could keep you busy. But if you actually want to learn how to trade, you probably want to look at a chart and have someone show you what it is that you're supposed to look for, which can be done without reading anything. You can just look at it and see, here's the reason why you would enter a trade, and here's the reason why you would exit a trade, and then practice that, discover that what you know is true, do it over and over again, be able to master trade. Is there a way that a person could just look at a chart and instantly know what would be the visual technical signal for any next trade, for an entry or an exit? And also know if a market is going to continue in the same direction or if it's going to turn. These things have been discovered to be true by me and other people, that you can look at a chart and tell just that, whether it's going to continue in the same direction or if it's going to turn, and what are the visual and technical signs that show if a market is going to turn or reverse. And do markets actually reverse, or do they change directions for a period of time, forming a correction, then keep going the same direction, and so on? And in our live sessions, that is exactly what I teach traders to do. Based on what I have experienced, I will show you how to avoid a lot of wasted time and how to learn some things that are known to be true about the market you can actually use as trading decisions without having a long period of trial and error, as I did in many cases, making mistakes that I would prefer not to make, and then doing it over and over until I finally realized things. Anything that I have finally realized to be true, I want to tell people right up front, just look for this. Don't waste your time thinking that this is what's going to happen, when in fact you can see for yourself and test it out that this is how the market behaves. And when it comes to Forex and even crypto, you can learn which are the pairs or the instruments to focus on, and what are the time frames where patterns can be recognized and seen. And what is the actual way in the process to plan and enter a trade that has a high probability of turning into a winning trade? So let's take a look at that. Interestingly, when I looked in the beginning of the book by Edwards and Magee, I discovered that there was mentioned that Robert Prechter, founder of Elliott Wave International, had given a talk on technical analysis, and it was mentioned that they all agree, because the people who are on the side of reading charts using technical analysis may have on the other side of this debate people who don't even believe that you can look at charts and only use fundamental analysis and economic data. So even though these two types of chart patterns are very different, I thought it was quite amazing how they mentioned that they were in agreement on the subject of technical analysis. So have you heard of the pattern, the head and shoulders? If you have seen this pattern, and if you are familiar with the natural known patterns of trends and corrections that are known through Elliott Wave, then you know basically it means that there was a high, and then there was a higher high, and then there was a lower high. And it's taught that that's a reversal signal. But what we know is that every trend has a similar thing that happens. The high of wave 3, followed by the high of wave 5, followed by a lower high, usually of a wave B, and then it doesn't reverse. It forms a correction and keeps going. Now I found another example on the weekly time frame that if these two highs were lined up a little better, then that will be considered a head and shoulders, along with these two lows represent the neckline. Well, whether those highs are lined up and the neckline is lined up isn't really what is significant. What is significant is what is that pattern in the context of whether it's a trend and whether there is a correction to a trend. Triangles are another thing, that they are a known natural phenomenon that occur in financial markets. And when they happen, it has a meaning that can be read by someone who knows how to read charts of financial markets. There are different types of triangles, and they usually represent a simple correction in a trend. It's normal for there to be trends and corrections. During certain types of corrections to a trend, the market begins to move into the pattern known as a triangle. As soon as the clues occur at the very beginning of a triangle, sometimes if you're very used to reading charts right from the very first wave, you can see, oh, this is going to become a triangle. But in many cases, you don't know until after a triangle has formed. But then you begin to see, what is this triangle and how should it be traded in the future? As we saw here on the dollar index, the forming of a triangle and the breaking and retesting of the triangle line is very significant for telling traders where the likely direction that the market is going to go in the future. The old double and triple top idea is a pattern that obviously has some significance, but it may have a lot more significance if you can read other patterns and see it in the context of that. And when does it have a significance when the market hits a certain high multiple times? And how do you know it's going to be a double, triple, quadruple top? And what is the significance and how would you use that for trading? Certainly you could look at it and say, well, it hit this high many times, but how many times did I enter and lose and it didn't go? Versus how many times did I identify a specific type of a pattern that led to a high probability trade that will work in the future and has been known to work in the past? All patterns can be read with a higher degree of accuracy by adjusting the time frames up and down, and by zooming in and out in order to view larger patterns that the pattern that you're looking at is a part of, and smaller patterns that make up the pattern that you are looking at. This will become so obvious to any trader who is really interested in reading the market and understanding what it does, that it will just become second nature to you after some time of looking at charts and reading them. Do you know how to instantly recognize an ABC correction, which isn't a part of Dow Jones chart patterns, and why this particular pattern isn't likely to be confused with any other pattern. How do you identify the end of an ABC so that you can have a very high probability entry that works out? Something that will guarantee you more profit than is possible using any proprietary indicator, software, algorithm, any trading strategy or trading system. Once any person has stepped through the door of being able to read financial markets at a higher level, using some version of Elliott Wave and having some type of breakthrough that enables them to be able to start seeing these patterns. These methods, like Dow Jones charts patterns, support and resistance, will seem to be very crude and ineffective. Here's another interesting thing regarding the concept of Elliott Wave is that many people believe that the theory of Elliott Wave doesn't allow market reversals. I had people who said, so in Elliott Wave, it just keeps on forming trends and corrections and keeps on going. And this concept comes from an ignorance of the basics of Elliott Wave, because the very basics of subdivisions and Elliott Wave teaches us that every normal pattern that's formed in the market has market reversals of a trend embedded right in it. And that is that every trend that is a wave 5 will be followed by a complete reversal of 100% of that trend. And every trend that is a wave C will be followed by a reversal. And if you ever see a reversal on any time frame, all you do is go to a longer time frame and notice that's a wave 5 or a wave C and see what it's actually doing on a longer time frame. If I have to say that twice, show it to you, watch this video twice and look at the illustration, and once you get it, you will never stop knowing that. The way to trade any financial markets is to be able to read the charts and recognize known proven patterns. The more we learn about patterns, the more likely it is that we will be able to make trading decisions that work out. This is barely the beginning of this subject. And if you would like to learn more about what is really known to work in trading, just go to tradingmastermind.com. And you'll see there that we offer a free course to traders, and that's what I give people to help people to be able to make some progress that leads to their being able to read charts and make profitable trading decisions. There are over 40 videos in this training program that I give out for free. So just sign up and you'll be on your way to making profitable trading decisions on a regular basis. So I have made another video about this subject, and you can watch that video right over here.